Centuries of Last. This episode continues our Western U.S. history vlog from May of 2019, heading west from the Badlands to the Black Hills National Forest and the Mount Rushmore National Memorial. Not only were we disappointed to discover, not having done our homework, that programs like the nightly lighting of the presidents and the salute to veterans in the amphitheater, as well as ranger programs and tours of the sculptor's studio, didn't begin until Memorial Day weekend, which was a week after we were there. But the weather also began to deteriorate soon after we arrived in the Black Hills. After taking these iPhone snapshots, we decided to move on to Custer City, which is about 15 miles further west, to set up our camp and return the next day to really view the monument and generally enjoy the trails through the beautiful pine forests surrounding it. But next morning we woke to really cloudy skies, and when we got to Mount Rushmore, the whole thing was completely fogged in. I took this snapshot during a gap in the cloud cover that lasted no more than 15 seconds. As frustrated as we were, we really felt bad for the hundreds of international tourists from the other side of the world, for whom that day was their one and only chance, at tremendous expense, no doubt, to see this iconic national treasure. The half-mile walk along the paved Presidential Trail, passing the sculptor's studio on the way, which has big windows so you can see inside, which is a nice touch for pre-programmed scheduled visitors such as us, was pleasant enough and not too challenging from a knees and thighs standpoint. Then a leisurely drive through the National Forest helped ease the pain as we shifted to our standard Plan B, indoor museums. The first stop was the South Dakota Railroad Museum in Hill City, which is about 15 miles north of Custer. To quote one comment on TripAdvisor.com, it is, quote, old, small, simple, but good, unquote. The building houses a lot of displays. Next time, Vagel, bring the GoPro. This is also the headquarters of the so-called 1880 train, a steam-powered excursion that, of course, did not start until Memorial Day weekend. So we retraced our steps and headed about 30 miles south of Custer to Hot Springs, South Dakota, and the absolutely fascinating Mammoth Site, discovered during excavation for a housing development of all things, on the outskirts of town in 1974. One crazy thing about this place is that the first 4 of 5 universities that they approached about excavating the site expressed no interest. To date, as much as you can see the dig has exposed, scientists estimate that the fossil bed still extends another 40 feet down. So, even though the weather might not cooperate, there is plenty to do around Mount Rushmore if you find touristy places like Keystone not to your liking. We ended our rainy day back in Custer with dinner and a fine brew at the Custer Wolf Tavern, which we highly recommend. The atmosphere is, well, atmospheric. The elusive jackalope. The Custer Wolf. For food, drink, good beer, good staff, good fun. Can't beat it. Custer Wolf. This is our tavern of the trip. May 19th. And yes, that's snow in the trees and falling. On the road to Devil's Tower, Wyoming. Our last morning in Custer came in cold and damp, but the rain stopped long enough for us to break camp without getting wetter than we had to from folding wet tentage. Ahead of us lay the longest drive of the trip, all the way to Hardin, Montana near Little Bighorn and other historical sites from the Indian Wars. Our path included a side trip to Devil's Tower National Monument in Wyoming, which, as you can see, coincided with the arrival of snow. Fortunately, the clouds didn't envelop the tower all the time, and the 1 mile or so walk on a paved trail around the base of the tower was very enjoyable, with views of the surrounding landscapes and even an opportunity for the obligatory selfie. I hope you enjoyed this video and will join us next time as we brave the wind and the cold at Little Bighorn and other nearby state historical sites of the Indian Wars on the northern Great Plains. Thanks for watching. Please click the thumbs up icon to like the video and share with your friends via email or social media. I'd love to have you subscribe, and if you do, please click the little bell icon so you'll get notifications whenever I post a new video. Goodbye.